everyone. This is Hollander Cooper from GamesRadar.com.
I'm Henry Gilbert.
And we're going to show off exactly how to use Pokemon-Ami and why you should use it. So let's jump right into it. In Pokemon X and Y, there's a thing called Pokemon-Ami, where you can play with your Pokemon. You can see right here, and they have a bunch of different stats. There's a Charizard, a Gengar, which you can see is fully maxed up because of course I maxed up Gengar. There's a Binacle and a bunch of other Pokemons. Let's mess with Amora? Amora?
Amaura.
Yeah, Amora. So Amora, you can see on this screen, has 0 affection, 0 fullness, and a lot of enjoyment, and you'll see why in a second. So we'll jump into it. Shows up on the bottom screen, and you hit play, and when you do that, you actually go in and you can just play with the Pokemon by petting. So note those stars, those little things showing up around there.
The little twinkles.
The twinkles mean that your Pokemon is hungry, and when your Pokemon's hungry, you're gonna want to feed them these little Pokepuffs. So
those
these
look like
Poffins?
Yeah.
They're sort of. They're the same thing. So you could feed them a bunch of Poffins. You'll note that there were 5 stars. You can pretty much means you can feed them 5 Poffins until they're full. So let's fill this Pokemon to the brim with Pokepuffs. And each time you do that, you're going to see those little hearts appearing. Those are important. The hearts mean that you're moving towards gaining affection.
Okay.
So each time I feed the Pokemon, and these, you'll notice that there's different kinds. The ones that are better decorated are higher level. And
does your Pokemon's fullness is it always you always have to keep filling it back up?
You do, but it's not as important. So you'll note, all right, so I fed it a bunch of Pokepuffs, or not Pokepuffs. Oh yeah, Pokepuffs. And I'm going to jump back out here real quick and go to switch now, and you'll see the fullness is 4 out of 5.
So affection went up.
Affection did go up. Usually, the first level of affection's kind of weird, but usually there's a little animation that goes along with the affection going up. Oh, asleep, smack her awake, because that's what you do in this game. So there's enough room for one more Pokepuff inside of this Pokemon's belly. But you'll notice she's going to eat it slower.
To let you know.
So that's to let you know. So now that's full. The other thing is full. You can pet. Oh, you notice that there's different parts that they like having pet. So you like that area pet. You can see the expression. I think that means doesn't like.
Yeah, the eyes seem to tell me whether.
No, you like that one. There's usually an area where you'll be very clear that they don't like it.
Well, it's sort of like with a.
Does not like that.
Sort of like when you're petting a cat and you get to its tail and it goes hey.
Actually, so this is an ice type, and look what happens when I try to pet the ice things on the side. Hand freezes.
Oh, your hand freezes. So, wow, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, so you're going to want to pet the Pokemon until you stop getting hearts for it. Okay, that area I think that Pokemon did not like. The eyes flared up. So you get all these hearts. They're adding to your affection.
It seems like a very light version of Nintendo.
It sort of is.
But I'm just impressed they made 3D.
I don't know why it keeps falling asleep.
They made 3D models for every Pokemon for this mode.
Every single one, and you have to imagine that you'll technically be able to get them all. So you see that music note that came up. That means the Pokemon is done being rubbed, done getting food, and it wants to play a game. So you have 3 games to pick from. Let's jump into Head It, because it's the easiest one to show off. We'll do a normal Head It. So when you play a game like Head It, you're going to raise their enjoyment, and the enjoyment goes down as you stuff them with food and pet them and that sort of thing. So we'll play this for a second.
Okay.
There's a little star above its head. It's if you hit that, you get more points.
So what are you doing? Are you tapping its head when
I'm tapping the Pokemon,
down?
And as soon as it hits it, it goes up. So if I tap it at the right spot, I get 3 points instead of...
Okay, this seems like your traditional Nintendo type of minigame. Oh, and so now you got to do it between 2 of your Pokies.
And those the ones that come down really fast, those purple ones, those ones are jerks. But so you play this. It's pretty simple. All the minigames are pretty simple, but you end up getting a little more addicted to them than you think. There's a puzzle swap one that's pretty easy, but they all have an endless mode. The endless mode for puzzle swap is damn near impossible. I've never gotten more than 1 star. It is super difficult. But you'll do this, and each one of these takes about a minute. And depending on how well you do is the number and the quality of the Pokepuffs you get. And as you can guess, so I fail at this every time. Yeah, it's a big one. You'll see, that's my high score actually. I'll get 4.5 out of 5, and you get a bunch of Pokepuffs. There are higher levels than those, though.
That's what I wondered about Pokepuffs, if you bought them or if you...
Just unlock them by playing minigames. And then what's going to happen is you go back here. Now the Pokemon will jump back out to this screen again. There's also some like camera stuff where you can make expressions at them, but it doesn't really work all that consistently.
Yeah, I heard about that. Well, and you can go into this at any time, right?
Right, at any time. So you'll see the affection is at 1 and you have fullness and enjoyment. Let's jump back in and we'll hopefully try to get one more affection by doing a little more belly rubs and head rubs. And it's just something.
I think its ears really like it.
Yeah. Each Pokemon has like the spot, like it is sort of like a cat, the part they like having rubbed more than other parts.
Are there any that you felt kind of weird doing them, like Mewtwo
it's a
or whatever?
Sword. I'm like, this.
Yeah.
This should not work out. And you do this, and then eventually, hopefully they do it now, otherwise we're gonna have to play another mini game. They'll eventually sparkle and do a dance and sing, and hearts will fly everywhere, and that means that they've leveled up. And you just pretty much repeat this process. Yesterday I took an EV from nothing to full in an hour. And so in an hour, and once you get the affection all the way up, it stays there. It does not go down for the rest of the game. Which is important, which I'll show you why in a second. Maybe. All right, so that one's done with that nonsense. But the important reason you are going to want to do this is because if you rank them up all the way, let's jump into my Pokemon and move them around so I can hopefully get a better show of this. Gengar is ranked all the way up. Right. Your Pokemon are actually going to behave better in battle, which is obviously very important. Ursaring.
I love Ursaring.
And if my high-level Gengar doesn't kill him in one hit, you'll probably see exactly why.
Yeah, wait a minute.
Oh, there's a Mega Evolution.
I do a very light attack to him then.
Let's try Dazzling Gleam. See how this works. Oh, he used Snore and it failed. I'll use Hex because I don't have any abilities that actually take advantage of it. Oh, that didn't do anything. What's going to happen sometimes is you'll see things like your Pokemon will get critically hit, it doesn't affect. I'll keep doing it. I'll see what happens. But your Pokemon will use an attack that ends up. Wow, he is not affected by, I guess, any of my dark moves or my ghost moves. What happens is you'll crit more often. You will avoid attacks more often, and all that stuff only happens if your affection is high. There'll be times where your Pokemon will just shrug off effects because they like you so much.
Well, that's just a general thing for the game that they're making, formerly secret stats a lot more obvious now.
Yeah, so it is very important if you have a Pokemon you enjoy using, it's going to be your main throughout the game, you might as well spend the 45 minutes or every so often and use their thing. Let's end this with a good Mega Evolution to show off.
All right, I want to see this. I haven't seen this before. Special treat here. Whoa! Oh man, that is awesome.
Yeah,
he
right.
changes a lot more than most of them, I gotta say.
He does.
Well, and Gengar is so awesome, man.
Yeah, so definitely use it. That's how you do it. You pet them. So essentially you want to go in, play a few mini games until their enjoyment is full, feed them a bunch, pet them a bunch, and just repeat. And within 45 minutes to an hour, your Pokemon will have leveled all the way, their affection and their bonding level all the way up. So be sure to do that. Be sure to click on all of the other GamesRadar videos for Pokemon X and Y. You can find out how to get a Sylveon. You can see a bunch of the Mega Evolutions in action. And be sure to come back all the time for brand new content on GamesRadar's YouTube channel.